gentlemen, Arup. Arup, are you available?
I'm here.
Awesome. Floor is yours.
Great. So we're going to start it up here. So I'm Dr. Arup Roy-Burman. I am founder and CEO of Elemeno Health. My story starts here with a sad but inspiring story. It's my little sister, Urmila, who was born 50 years ago with congenital heart disease. Pretty simple, a ventricular septal defect. She was cared for at Children's LA. Things went well. But when she was 4, she went to the OR, and for a routine surgery, there was an error. Something went wrong in the OR, and she died. I was in 2nd grade. That was my first experience with the medical error. That was my inspiration to go into medicine, to ultimately go into pediatrics and critical care and care for children with congenital heart disease. I've done this for 20 years, Stanford, Children's Oakland, Kaiser, and UCSF. And in every one of those, I continue to see children dying from preventable mistakes. Mistakes made by well-meaning, hardworking, well-educated individuals who could not pull the information they needed when they needed it. And that's what inspired me to work with our colleagues actually at Salesforce on our prototype, to be able to create what we call a playbook in your pocket, equipping our frontline teams at the unit level, ICU, ED, OR, with the information they need specific to their organization, their department, their people, their processes, so that they can get the information they need when they needed it. By empowering frontline teams, we could decrease care variation, improve safety, decrease costs, and we can do this with no IT. Our biggest challenges today are in staffing. You've heard that already. We're never going to get enough people. We have to make do with what we have. And if we can't level those people up, we get errors, we get costs. And you compound that with healthcare getting exponentially more complicated. You cannot remember it all. And our status quo is still 17th, 18th, and 19th, 20th century. It's all of that. Still in-person trainings, apprenticeships, non-contextual training in the classroom, in one ear and out the other, the binders, the flyers, the emails. The end result is we can't train our staff fast enough. They are not confident. We get variation, we get errors, we get inefficiencies and waste. Now, I've been there. I've run an ICU. I know the importance of teams. Doctors, nurses, RTs, all working together. Healthcare is a team sport. So what can we learn from other teams? And whether you like football or you don't, we can all agree that it is a complex sport with a lot of position players working together in concert to get the win. It's supervised by a rule book that nobody reads. There's these non-contextual training sessions that give you a general idea about a concept, but what really matters in the moment are the plays that are designed for your team against your opponent on the field that you're playing on today. And if we look at that in healthcare, we've got the policies and procedures, nobody reads them. Training sessions, whether they're in the skills day or in the staff meeting or in the LMS, non-contextual, where is the playbook? That's where Elemeno comes in, with information designed specifically for your drugs, your devices, your people, and processes. We give every team an elegant and simple just-in-time training and support solution. So as a nurse or a doctor, you can get what you need, where and when you need it, whether it is right before you do a procedure, it's when you've been off for a week and right before you come in, or it's in the middle of the night where you're scratching your head saying, man, did I really do that the right way? It's immediate, it's easy, and it's personalized. The way that it works, if you're a manager, you've got raw content everywhere. You've got it in Word documents and PDFs, maybe from manufacturer's instructions for use. You've captured somebody on a video, one of your rock stars. You drop that into the system, we transform it into bite-sized chunks. You can push the information out and people can pull it when they need it. So to give you an idea what it looks like, here we're looking at a live site, UCSF, branded for your organization, here for me. And when I look at this, if I were on an iPhone or an Android, it simply scales down to whatever device I'm on. Easy UX, search for what I want, pick my unit, my team. I'm in the ED at Parnassus today. Hey, what's the latest update? Well, ED Director Gene Noble put it up. I think the last one came in just yesterday. Here's the latest on the monoclonals that we're using now in place of Regeneron. Or how about when it comes time for testing? Well, for testing now, we want people to self-test. They can see that in video, or they can see that in pictures on how to do it. Same kind of idea here. The resident said, hey, every attending teaches me a different way to do my procedures. So if I'm trying to do my central line, how do I actually do that? Every attending shows me differently. Well, I can see here, they put everybody on the same page. And as a resident, I can come in and see, okay, these are the equipment that I need. And here it is in the back room where my stuff exactly is. And when it comes to the procedure itself, I can see a combination here of text and video on how to do it. And the beauty of this information is UCSF made it shareable. So Community Medical Center 400 miles away said, oh, that's cool. The manager took it, said, I'm going to use it. All I'm going to do is change this bit of information to fit my house. Similarly, for nurses, we talked about in this last presentation, the importance of, trying to bring in new people. Well, you got to orient them. And here you could see at Children's New Orleans, for their nursing staff, if I'm in the CICU, I'm a traveler, I'm a new grad coming in, I can see what's expected of me in my unit. What should I be knowing on week 1? Maybe it's something as simple as how to set up the monitor. And I can see that here in a series of pictures walking me through exactly how to do it. Or it may be a high risk, low frequency procedure. We see that all the time. How about a massive transfusion? I need to use the Belmont. I haven't used this in months. What's it look like? Well, I can find it quickly here. I can see what I need to know. I can see the procedure with pictures, and that can be paired. Instead of trying to read a manual, I can pair that with video. I'm not going to drive through the video right now, but kind of 10 seconds on what you need to know to be able to hook this up. So all of this, why does it matter? The reason that it matters is here. The reason it matters is because it ultimately works. So I'm bringing it back to my slideshow. Is that UCSF, when they did this for COVID, it was so helpful that they published it in the Emergency Medicine Journal. People were coming into this 100 times a day. It was essential for keeping their team on the same page. And they shared this content with other hospitals around the country. We've got all of our clients publishing results, peer-reviewed. Serious patient harm going from once every 7 days to once every 28 days. Central line infections cut in half. C. diff 85%. Educators cutting their labor time by 75% in the preparation and delivery of content, and more people engaging. And this ultimately saves money. Here's 2 of our enterprise clients, 200-bed hospitals, with a value of about $5 million a year by decreasing turnover, by replacing face-to-face non-clinical paid time with a constant drip through Elemeno and consistent decrease in patient harm. We've got growing traction. We're about 1.75 million in ARR, doubled over the last year. Our clients alone, without new clients, we would jump up to about 6 million ARR. Clients are coast to coast. We have thousands of users with 0 churn. And they are all sharing content with each other. The first exchange in the industry to be able to accelerate the spread of best practices. Our big picture vision is to be the go-to network for best practices worldwide, to radically reduce errors and empower every healthcare professional to provide the best care possible to every life they touch. We're a team of doctors and nurses, experienced healthcare IT professionals, successful exits at WebMD and Athena Health. We're about engineering a product focused relentlessly on the user and about sales coming out of healthcare IT. We're recognized last year by the American College of Emergency Physicians as the 2021 Innovator of the Year, and recognized by the Jewish Healthcare Foundation for the top international innovation to eliminate medical errors. We're Elemeno Health, elevate quality by empowering the front lines with knowledge and engaging us all as an interprofessional team. Love to take some questions.
Arup, you have
Yes.
perfectly nailed the presentation because your key tagline, "Where is the playbook?" I loved it.
Thank you.
You basically took this whole complex sport and showed the real-time demo. From an investor standpoint, I think your outcome slide was fantastic with absolutely clear numbers. your ARR, your vision, your team. I think you covered beautifully from, at least from the investment standpoint. So I'll open the floor for my fellow judges and I'll come back later.
Thank you.
Can you please comment on how are you making money?
Yeah, so we're a cloud service. We're a flat subscription for each unit. That means for each team. If I'm a high risk, high complexity unit like an ICU, a OR, or an ED, it's a subscription of $3,000 a month. All you can eat for content that's transformed in there, all you can eat for users. So it doesn't matter if you're full-time, part-time, you're afloat, makes it easy to budget. If you're a low complexity unit, it's $1,000 a month. And if we go to enterprise, it's a negotiated price.
That sounds good. I'm also curious if you plan on any kind of personalization, like for example, can I like bookmark something that I'm using
Yes.
frequently, or also if I have different patients, like same condition in different patients may mean different things, right? Based on the things around. So do you just assume that I have a medical degree and that I already know those complexities, or is there any way how it would interject the information with the patient data?
So for the sake of simplicity and the agility, we do not carry patient information. So if you could think about like a yin and a yang, you've got the EHR as being a patient-centered platform of what we've done and what we need to do. Elemeno provides you with a staff-centered platform of how to do it. So, without that PHI, that allows us to work without IT, give information, whether you're in the hospital, you're at home, you're in transit, no firewalls, making all of that easy. Now, all of that being said, the information is personalized to you, not just to your team, but I can favorite my own content, so I can pin what I need for myself. My manager can assign me content if I'm a new grad, I'm a float coming in, so that things are highlighted to me. And for all of this, we have a feedback loop. So for myself, when I say I like something or I don't like something or it can be better, that goes back to my manager. What I'm searching for that I can't find goes back to my manager. So leadership starts to understand my needs before I'm actively expressing them.
Great. I'm also curious to ask about competition, but I want to give space to Doreen if I'm not sure how much time we have.
Yeah, Doreen, you're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Burman. I really enjoyed your presentation. And first of all, I would like to say I'm so sorry for your loss through a medical error. And what I like the most about your presentation is your team, and that you're involving nurses in your team, and it's equally male-female representation.
Thank you.
Now, I also like your ambition to go worldwide, and I'm practicing also in Switzerland and Germany via telehealth, and knowing that our guidelines and evidence-based practices vary a little bit. How would you assure that these are assured in different countries? I love that it's interconnected, and I enjoy that you are sharing already information. I think this is like the secret sauce is that we're doing that. But how do you assure that our evidence-based medicine is applicable to the different countries?
Yeah, so when we come back and look at that content sharing network, if you will, well, every one of these hospitals, their content is their content. If they choose to make it shareable, it's shareable. But when it's shareable, it's visible to management only, not to frontline staff. So if I'm a manager at LCMC Health, I can see shared content from UCSF. If I want to deliver that to my team, I put in there, I'm taking responsibility. This is aligned with our policies and procedures. Boom, I approve it, and now it's released to my team. Or more often what it is that, oh, I love that piece of practice, and what I need to do is just tweak this step to fit our institutional needs, and then I approve it and go. So that way, this becomes a knowledge sharing network. It's not forcing somebody to adapt exactly what others do, but helps it and makes it easy for you to learn from others and adapt it to your needs.
Thank you. And if I would like to buy in to it today, what would I have to pay, or what my clinic would have to?
Yeah, so if you were, so there's the two levels. So if you are a high complexity unit, And so like the classic, our history's been most in inpatient, but we've done clinics and we're in post-acute care as well. But if I were in an inpatient hospital and I'm an ICU, that's a $3,000 a month a subscription. If I am in a general medical ward, it's a $1,000 a month subscription. So that gives you a rough idea of where the bookends of the cost.
Thank you.
Okay, so Arup, I'm going to ask you just final thoughts. So I think you correctly said it's a knowledge sharing and it's actually an impact. And I believe that what your focus is on speed. Is that true?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. We're on the same page. Although you spend 7 minutes, I can connect with you for the next 7 years. Okay. The question I have for you. So everything looks very fancy and very, very bold. And I try to work this out through Yahoo, your webpage, and Google. And you stood second. Yahoo.com was still loading. So congratulations on your
thanks.
loading page. Yeah. The question I have is, what challenges are you currently facing or have you faced and learned? So can you share with other founders so we can all learn from you?
I'm sorry, I missed the key word there. What blank have I been facing? I'm sorry.
What challenges have you faced prior or currently facing so we all can learn, other founders can get some inspiration, like overall?
Yeah, the challenge is, I think to really come across, and I think the last judge also kind of got to that, it's about being inclusive. That in healthcare, I think that for those of us when we're practicing on the inside, there's a lot of inherent distrust in what's coming from the outside. That, everyone's here trying to make money out of healthcare and I'm trying to do the right thing. And even for me as a founder, when I moved to the outside, it was looked on as I was going to the dark side. Well, now relationships really changed. But when we really come back to the client and listen to the client, it's like about starting with empathy and listening to the client, whether it's a doctor, it's a nurse, it's an RT, it's an aide, listening to them on their needs, listening to that seriously, building that empathy, and then trying to solve their problems. When they see that that's genuine, that fundamentally changes the dynamic with the vendor. And I think really positions you for longer term success.
I think that's your secret sauce, empathy.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to say because my LinkedIn says something like that, you can check it out. But I really wanted you to come up with that. And thank you for saying that. I see your 510 numbers. So you must be in Bay Area.
Yes.
So connect me on LinkedIn and we'll do more BS. You know what BS means?
No, you tell me.
Brainstorming.
Brainstorming. Nice. I love it.
Okay, thank you for the beautiful laugh. And once again, congratulations. And we'll go to the next founder.
Thank you.